What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Bob, and welcome back to fighting game general tips and tutorials featuring tutorial. So, today I've been kind of inspired to get into this because I've been learning this character for a few weeks now, Steve Fox. So, the reason I'm doing this is because Steve here requires a bit of manual execution to be able to use. Like, I've been playing Tekken for about maybe 5 years now, and he's easily one of the most complicated characters I've ever had to actually use. So, I figured now would be a good time as any to bring back this little series I've been doing since Tekken 7's out and everything. So, what I'm gonna be covering is this concept called button buffering slash input overlap slash something to that effect. It's usually called button buffering. For my general observation of it, it's sometimes called command overlap. It's a little weird. In Street Fighter, I think this is a similar concept to Negative Edge, where you press a button, then you release it, and it does the button again. But this is not quite Negative Edge. This is a little easier than that. So, if you're not familiar with the concept of button buffering is basically using active frames of a move to input like a command for another move. Steve doesn't really have anything like that, but I do use that concept for something called command overlap, which is basically used, I feel, a lot for Steve's combos. So I'm going to give an example of a basic bread and butter combo with Steve that's like, it was literally the first combo I learned with him. And there. Okay, so a slightly easier version of that would actually be, oops. Assuming I don't keep screwing this up because I haven't warmed up yet. There we go. 66 damage, pretty fucking good. So the thing about Steve in this game, the reason I pick up Steve is because his hard stuff off of, what the hell is it? Yeah, that move is no longer needed in order to do his full combos. It's mostly off of Flicker 2 into, nope, that's not it. I thought that was the move. Oh, am I messing up? Fuck the input somewhere. Something to that effect. And oh, I have counter hit. I should probably turn it off. Alright. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I feel like this is really important for a lot of fighting game players to know. This isn't, of course, obvious to Tekken. This is also used in like Street Fighter, and I know Virtual Fighter definitely does this to a certain degree. So no matter what you're playing, this is going to be important to a certain degree. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to break down how I do this combo, which is a pretty staple combo you're going to see a lot with Steve players across the board. So that whole sequence right there, it doesn't seem too complicated. If you look at my commands, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing too crazy going on. It's just a little tight with the timing. But I'm going to break something down bit by bit. So first of all, is down forward 1 extension into down forward 1 2 1. If you look at the actual command list, let me go pull up really fast. Move list, it should be somewhere. See, it was a pretty hefty move list. Down forward. Is this it? No, this is Peekaboo. Almost had it. Okay, no, it is Scorpion's Claw. Here it is. Uppercut, Psych Out, Hook. So this is a really important piece of a lot of Steve's games. I'm just going to hotkey up here. So the basic way you do this move is 1 and then tilde 2 1. So what that means is you're canceling the down forward 1, or you're canceling this part, the high hit, the high input into a small extension. If you look at my command list, it basically looks like this: 1 and then quickly do 2 and then quickly do 1. However, I never do this move actually, so I don't do it like this. What I do is down forward 1, and I just hammer out 2 1, or 1 plus 2. So what I do is this. So that's the basic building blocks of button buffering slash command overlap. I'm pretty sure it's command overlap, something like that. No, it's button buffering. Fuck, I'm getting my commands mixed up. Well, they're pretty similar in concept anyway. But the reason I do this is because in like a very clutch situation, you're probably gonna mess this up, and this is a very important part of a lot of Steve's game. So instead of doing this, I just do 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2. If I were to give an example, I originally learned this actually with Lars, funny enough. His forward 4, 1 2 1 string, his max damage combo at the wall. I never did that. I did forward 4, 1+2, 1+2, 1+2. A similar idea of Steve also comes into his ridiculous oh come on, I know he's got it. All of us probably 1+2 to start it off. Yeah. So Steve also has this off his ducking stance, which is his like kind of max damage combo at the wall, but depends on damage scaling really. So the way you do this move, I'm gonna go bring this up now, wherever the hell this is. Let's see. Nope, that's in the ground hitting moves. Come on, where the hell is it? Peekaboo. Ducking in. Here we go. Should be. There it is. Gatling gun. So that's the official command input for it, but of course, because of command button buffering, I could just mash 1+2, and if my inputs were faster, I could probably get the whole thing. Actually, no, I could definitely get the whole thing. So yeah, that's a general principle of how to use button buffering. The actual like concrete definition is like it has to do with the way Tekken registers button inputs. It's kind of weird. So like if I were to do 1-1, if I do 1-2, I can do that, or 1-1. What would happen if I press 1 and then 1+2? Frankly, it depends. Sometimes it'll give me 1-1 if I do it fast enough. If I delay a little bit, it'll give me 1-2. It's a little weird. Sometimes depending on how you do the moves, it'll change. But if I were to give a actually like somewhat solid example, there's also like Steve's 4-1+2, 2. Yeah, this new move in the game. That would be, you can command overlap that using 1+2, 1+2 again. So it just simplifies. It's kind of like a shortcut route. Tekken isn't known for having a lot of like shortcut commands, unlike like Street Fighter, where you can do like down 4, and get a fucking DP. It's not quite like that. The actual reason for this has to do with how the command or the string inputs are registered in the game. So the reason why this works is because if you're to do 4-1+2, 2. If I were to just go ahead and pull this up, actually, this would be a lot easier to illustrate. I could probably save myself a bit of a heck with this, actually. Nope, it's not here. It is somewhere down here. Peekaboo. Peekaboo's got like a million fucking moves. Again, I'm still a few weeks into learning Steve. I'm not completely familiar with all his moves are located offhand. Max way. Swing. Wait. Oh, there it is. Shotgun combination. That's it. So here's the whole reason why this actually works out. It's because the way the inputs are overlapped. If you're to do shotgun combination, there's nothing else you can do besides the 2 input. So you do 4-1+2. There's no 1 extension. Like you can see me hammering 1 on the command history down there. Yeah. The reason that doesn't work is because there's no 1 input, so it can only go into 2. So therefore, if you were to do 4-1+2, 1+2, it registers the 2 as an actual complete input. Basically, I use these moves as a way of like option selecting the moves that are missing, and you can just like hammer it out and it'll work. So the reason I feel, actually before I get to that, the next part of Steve's whole combo series I was doing now is giving an illustration of. Actually, that's a bad example. The actual one I was going to use is this one. So this is, Steve only has like, I think 2 screw moves in this entire game, which is 4+2, or duck into 2. No, duck into 4, 2. And then there is flicker 1 down 1. So here's the trick with that move. So the move itself technically is assuming I can go find flicker, because gosh, it's tough to actually find stuff in here. I'm pretty sure flicker's higher up though. Apparently I'm full of shit. Alright, hang on. Ducking, quick spin, peekaboo, flicker. Found it. Okay. So here's the move itself. Flicker 1 down 1. So we're gonna hotkey that. Okay, so back with you before to go into flicker, and this is how I'm going to show this shit off. So the input itself is technically 1 down 1. It's not quite landing because I have Steve set to the guard second hit. There we go. Okay, so it does that when you actually get the whole command out. So the trick I do is, because the whole series of inputs would be really difficult if you're to do like the whole command, what I do is back 3+4 or flicker, I guess, into, and I just hold down. Like you can see down there. Again, you can, if you watch my command history, back 3+4, 1 down 1. That does work. But what you can also do is do flicker, hold down while you're doing the jab, or before the jab even hits. Like you can see on the command history, I start holding down before I even press 1. That's because at that point, flicker can't be canceled by crouch at that point. And I think it's canceled by down back. Yeah, it's canceled by down back. Just be the trick is be careful about that. But basically, if you get the timing right, as soon as you start entering flicker, hold down, and then press, and then while you're holding it, press 1-1. So the reason that works is because if I were to just mash 1, yeah, that would happen. I think this also works with something else in his strings. Yeah, it also works with forward 1-1. Oh, hang on. Okay, maybe that's a little higher than that one because forward cancels the input. What's another move I can use that for? Nah, it doesn't. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of works, but not quite what I was going for. Yeah, basically, so when I tie these two command inputs together, or button bufferings, I'm able to do this. I can do down forward 1, and then just press 1+2, 1+2 twice in order to get the full string. And I can just do flicker, hold down, and immediately get the 1-1. So all tied together, if you look at my command list, it looks like this. If I don't screw it. Well, you know what? I could probably do a good combo with that. Boom, boom. Shit. Wait. I can make this work. This isn't really the combo I go for often, but I can still make this work out. Shit. Okay, so assuming I don't keep screwing it up. I should be mashing that. I can't believe I actually managed to land that. There we go. Well, that's not the combo I go for, but that's a general idea of how you can use that to your advantage. So, that really helps to simplify a lot of Steve's combo game. More practical application for that would be off of his back 1. Again, assuming you don't start dropping combos. This is why we have warm-ups, folks. There we go. That's a basic way of doing that combo. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, via these inputs, you're able to take Steve's like difficulty of like a 7.0 or something on input to like maybe a 5. It's a little shortcut you can definitely use across a lot of different characters. Like I mentioned with Lars, I do forward 4, 1+2, 1+2, 1+2, into his like attacks. You know what, I can quickly go show off actually, assuming my computer doesn't take too long to load this fucking game. Okay, so that move I was talking about, yeah. As you can see from my command list, you can literally just do this. The command is technically forward 1, 2, 1. Why isn't that last one coming out? I don't know. Oh, you probably gotta delay it a little bit. Yeah, you can do that, or you can just mash the fuck out of it. Again, the reason that works is because there's only that one variant of that string. Like, there's no forward 1, 1, 2 or forward 1, 2, 2. If you just hammer 1+2, the game will register each button you do as a full command. An extreme example of this is I could just literally mash the controller and it will work. Yeah, again, you can see I'm literally just hammering the fucking controller and it works. Yeah, I better do that. Yeah, that's the way that kind of works out. In games like 3D fighting games or like a game or like 2D games that have multiple inputs like this that has strings like this where there's only like one route you can go, it kind of works for that also. Like this works for Lars forward 2, you can use 1+2 in order to go into his other string, or forward 2, 4 you can press 4 to 3 plus 4. You know, weird stuff like that. The best example I've ever seen with characters that can utilize this as a default or as a really good method in order to actually get their combos working is actually King. I'm gonna go show off his string or his Dragon Slaver really fast because that's like the best example you can use for that. Okay, so that's like the King. As soon as I go track down the strings that uses for this shit, there we go. So the command that actually starts his strings off would be not tackle. It was, oh god, it's hard to track down. Wait, was that it? No. There we go. Okay, so it starts. Some of his combos will start with this. Let me see if I have that something like that hotkeyed anywhere. Okay, so I do have his 2 plus 3 mapped. So for example, if you were to like just start command grab and just start hammering fucking buttons, you will automatically get different combo extensions or not combo extensions, throw extensions. Like if you just start palming at that shit. Example of this is like if you're to go into Dragon Sleeper, if you start hammering this shit, you can get some pretty good damaging combos if you don't want to go for like Rolling Death Cradle or something. If you want to get Rolling Death Cradle, you can utilize this as like a way to get into it. So like if I were to try to find it, Muscle Buster, Human Necktie, that's not it. Simple combos. Extreme example for this would be, where the hell is Rolling Death Cradle anyway? Because that's like the fun one. There it is. You can see the input for this is kind of complicated, but you can use command overlap to make this really fucking easy. Like with the second to last command, 1 plus 2, and you had to go 1 plus 2 plus 3. You can literally just hold 1 plus 2 at the very end, and then press 3, and you're pretty much fine. So it will look something like this, or like, you can totally make this work out. It's not too complicated. Yeah, it's all about command shortcutting really. So yeah, hope you guys learned something with this. You can use this to your advantage. It will help out greatly for your game in the long run. Again, a lot of games actually use this, so don't feel afraid about experimenting. Like if you have a character that's kind of got hard input, you can just like start experimenting and stuff, and you might be able to get something good. I don't think King offhand has any combos that really require that. Nah, I don't think. King's pretty straightforward in the combo department. You just gotta worry about getting the running. You just gotta worry about getting the Shining Wizards around. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go form it well as I can do with this shit, and yeah, see ya.